So I thought for this video, I would show you exactly what happens on a teacher planning day. Good morning, everyone. Today is Wednesday, September 19, 2018, and today is a teacher planning day. So I thought for this video, I would show you exactly what happens on a teacher planning day. To start off, I have time in the morning to do my makeup before I get out of the house because I am not rushing to leave the house to take my son to high school, and it's also daytime. I'm not leaving in the middle of the night or early morning when it's still dark because he starts school at 7:20, and if we don't get out of the house by 6:30, we do catch some awful traffic and then he gets to school late. So we usually end up leaving around 6:30 a.m. and at this time of the year it is dark. So that's another thing. I get to sleep in on a teacher planning day, sleep a little bit extra, not necessarily sleep in, but definitely sleep about an hour and a half more than usual. So that is amazing. Another thing that happens on a teacher planning day is I get to have time to actually stop by and get some breakfast. So today we're actually gonna go on the healthy side, and I am craving an acai bowl. So I'm gonna go to Raw Juice, which is close by to me, and I'm going to order a protein acai bowl, and I get to show you what that looks like. So let's go ahead and do that now, and then I'll keep taking you along with me today so that you can see what happens on a teacher planning day. But before we get breakfast, I have to actually stop for gas, and that's fine because right now it's 7:42 a.m. I don't have to be in school until 8:15 a.m. and I'm not that far from school. So let me stop and get some gas right now. I just parked at the gas station, and then we'll continue on our way. All right, I got my acai bowl. As you can see, how beautiful is that? I'm so excited. I'm gonna go to school and eat it there. And I forgot to mention, I'm wearing my Christina Costa shirt, Empowered Women Empower Women. And I love the shirt and I love this color. This purple is so beautiful. So anyway, I'm very excited. I still have enough time to make it to school. So I'm just gonna get going and I'll see you when I get there. One more thing I forgot to mention, I also have my tea from home. This is one of my favorite cups, Namaste in Bed. I got this cup from Charming Charlie a while ago. I think it was last year sometime. And I think I actually bought it in Orlando when I was there. But I love that. I love tea. Tea is my favorite thing to drink in the morning. That's what I drink. I don't drink coffee. I mean, I add some coffee to my protein shake, which I'm not having today because I'm having my acai bowl. But I do love my tea in the morning every morning. All right, so now let's get to school. And like I said before, I'll see you there. as you can see, I made it just in time. I spent a little bit of time signing in, going to the office, and then coming upstairs, which my classroom is a little far from the office. But just to show you the time, it is 8:26 right now, and Fitbit tells me it is 8:26. So yeah, I made it just in time, and I'm so excited. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn on my computer. I'm gonna check emails. I have to send a couple emails out, but my big plan for today is to grade and tackle all these papers that I need to find homes for. And I also need to find my label machine, which reminded me, it's somewhere in my house and I forgot to get it. Oh, well. I guess no labeling for me today, unless I make it into, like, I know, I can make little labels myself and put little Velcro dots and put them there so I can change them throughout the year. That's a great idea. All right, so let me go ahead and get settled, and I'll keep checking back with you so I can show you what I have been doing. So here we go. Oh, and of course, I'm going to eat my acai bowl right now and drink my tea while reading those emails and sending them out. All right, so here you go. All right, real life teacher moment. When you are looking over at what you had your students put in their notebooks yesterday that you created yourself, and you notice you made an error, and it will now result in having them redo that all over again because there's just no other way. And I don't think it's gonna be that bad, but this is what I mean. So these are my notes on comparative relational thinking that I created, and I just fixed the error. But the error was that instead of putting the word right here, now it's correct, I had the word left. So it was saying variable is to the left of the equal sign, and obviously it's to the right. And this one is set to the right instead of to the left, which I have just corrected. So yeah, now tomorrow, I have to reprint all of these things today and have the students tomorrow replace those sheets in their notebooks. The good thing is we use tape, and I tell the kids to use a little bit of tape on the corners, so hopefully it's not gonna be too much of a deal to remove those little papers and put the new ones in there. So yeah, real life teacher moment. Sometimes we make mistakes, and at least I have a teacher planning day to help me realize my mistakes so I can prepare for it for tomorrow. All right, so let me get back to these emails and I'll see you later. So I've spent the last 30 minutes or so reading emails, writing emails, sending messages to parents and so forth. And I have been trying to eat my acai bowl in between. It's already melting. So if you don't know what acai is a fruit, and they pretty much blend it with ice. And in this case for mine, I also added some vega protein, which is plant-based protein. And they also mix in some coconut milk and things like that. And then they add some toppings. So now it looks like a royal mess. But basically, my toppings are bananas, strawberries, blueberries. It has some cacao bits and honey drizzled on top. Oh, and some hemp seeds as well. All right, so now I'm going to plan for the rest of the week and start getting ahead on next week's plans before starting to tackle some of these papers that I need to grade, which are mostly right there. So let me get to that, and I'll catch up with you later. All done with my acai bowl, and now I'm going to finish my tea. Well, I have been planning away, and as you can see, also jamming to some tunes. That's another thing that I do on teacher planning days. I listen to music as I get my work done, and also I get to use the bathroom whenever I want without having to worry about the kids. So anyway, right now I'm actually getting ready to go to lunch. And another thing about teacher planning days is I get to take extended lunch time. So instead of those 30 minutes, which are actually 15 minutes of you woofing down your food before you have to pick up the kids, I get to have an hour if I want to. So I'm actually going to use my lunchtime to do a couple of things. So I should be back to school around 2:30 or so. So I'm going to go ahead and go out. I have been planning like crazy for next week, and when I come back, I'm going to be working on all the papers I have to grade. The good thing is we got an extension on when to have our grades in so that progress reports can be printed. We now have until Sunday, and then progress reports will be printed on Monday morning, and they will go home then. All right, so let me get my things ready. Oh, and another thing that I get to do on teacher planning days is I was just talking to one of my good friends, Alyssa. She used to be in my grade level, and now she's teaching 5th grade. So we were talking about science and math and sharing all those great things because she teaches math and science. So that's another thing you do on teacher planning days. You get to stop for a moment and talk to your colleagues and share ideas and catch up on them and things like that. All right, so let me gather my things and let's go to lunch. All right, so I just got back from my extended lunchtime, and I'm so sorry I didn't get to film my lunch, but I basically had a sushi roll and some ramen noodle soup. I got to sit down, thoroughly enjoy my lunch, and now I'm coming back to the school building. I have until 4 p.m. or a little bit before 4 because I have to be out of the building before then because they're closing the building today at 4 to do some grading. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And I also needed to do some copies. Don't know if I should do the copies first because the copy machine might be available. So I am going to check on that now since I'm coming back in. And yeah, I get to show you what I end up doing today. I hope you're enjoying coming along with me on this teacher planning day. I'm not gonna have another teacher planning day for a while like this because the next one is at the end of the month, but it is a professional development day, so I have to go to a PD. Actually, that's something else I should do right now. Register for a PD for that day and the next day. All right, so I'll see you soon. For a moment, I thought the copy machine was not working, but it just needs paper. I can fix that. Okay, maybe I should make some copies since it's empty. Let me do that now. All right, so now that I'm back in my classroom, I have decided to do something. I'm just going to grade as much as I can or whatever I can in the next 30 minutes. And then I'll use the last of that time before they close the building to make copies. Let me show you what are some of the things that I pulled aside to make copies of. First and foremost is this Faces of the Moon activity that I want them to put in their notebooks. I have this passage set that I talked about before, but I haven't used it yet, but it's on the eclipse. So it goes over what is an eclipse. It goes over solar eclipses and let me see. Oh, and lunar eclipses as well. So I wrote, this has 3 sources and it's available on my TPT store. Later on, I'm going to actually plan to do a whole resource with a PowerPoint and examples of the essay, etc. that can go along with this. But that is the prompt. They're doing comparison and contrast, which is perfect because we are actually going over that skill starting next week in our Wonder series. And then I have, this is the Social Studies Chapter 1 test. I did print it off as a booklet, so I'm gonna get copies of that. I have copies of the lab, what patterns do you see in the night sky, that they're gonna use with this. That's it for that. And then over here, what I decided to do was I have these enrichment activities for my gifted students on mixed models, and this one is on multi-step problems using the order of operations. Here is the science test once we finish topic 1. This is the reading test for unit 2, which they'll take next week, but I can get a head start on those copies. This is for this Friday. This is their grammar minutes as their warm-up. That's just instructional focus. These are just teacher editions. I have some more papers over here. Okay, we're going over idioms. So I have this double-sided handout from the Wonder series that they're going to use to practice idioms. This is to help us practice genres. So the previous genre was fairy tales, and this one is realistic fiction. This is to help them practice their vocabulary. So here they're just writing the word that fits the meaning. And then on this page, because it's going to be double-sided, they're going to complete the sentence using the word. Then they're going to practice with this small passage on cyberbullying, and they're going to answer these 3 questions on problem and solution. And this is their selection test for Experts Incorporated that they're actually taking tomorrow after we review that vocabulary from the story. All right, so as you can see, those are the papers that I have set aside, plus the logs that we need for next week that I'm going to print out before I make copies. I'm going to set a timer for 30 minutes so that I can grade as much as I can. And then I'm going to just go downstairs, make copies, because I can just leave the copies in my mailbox and then go home from there. And tomorrow morning, I can pick them up and bring them back to the classroom. All right, let me do that now, and I'll see you later. All right, it's been 30 minutes and I have graded 1 subject, which is language arts. Most of it. I still have to read their essays to give them scores, but that's not for a grade. What I am grading though in that is their gathering of evidence, if they completed their chart with their evidence, and if they created a plan. That's what I am going to be grading for language arts for that. The essays do need to get scored, but I'll get to that eventually. But I'm glad that I have most of my grades for language arts and I can insert them into the computer tomorrow. So now I'm just gonna grab the papers that I need to make copies. I'm gonna take 2 reams of paper with me downstairs and we're gonna make some copies and then we're gonna call it a day. So let's go ahead and do that now. This is a nightmare, so let me see if I can get it fixed and get it unjammed. All right, it seems like got it going again, so let's see if all of my jobs print now. All right, here we go. Crossing my fingers. And I'm almost done, and it jams again. Almost done. All these other copies. Let's see if I can get it. All right, got it all fixed and unjammed and ready to go. Just in the nick of time, 'cause I gotta be out by 4. All right, and I think that's it. That's it. Oh no, add paper. Okay, that's it. I'm not gonna make any more copies. I can stop printing. We're gonna cancel. And whatever other copies I need from that, I'll just make tomorrow or whenever. All right, so let me get all these and put them in my mailbox and get ready to go. All right, I am now in the parking lot getting ready to get out and head on home. I really should have brought the 2 reams that I initially said I was gonna bring. I only brought 1 ream of paper, which is why I ran out, but it's okay. That last thing wasn't anything that we're gonna use this week. It was for next week. So that's okay. Well, I hope you enjoy coming along with me on this teacher planning day so that you can see what are some of the things that we usually do on a teacher planning day. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment down below, let me know what you thought, any questions you may have. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell for notifications so you don't miss any future videos. I hope you have a beautiful, magical day, and don't forget to smile. See you next time.